Okay, so it seems all that money we spent on a goalkeeper and defenders has made absolutely no difference. We still can't defend for toffee, and we're still awful going forward. I'm not going to go counter-attacking, but we are tweaking the tactic today. Hello and welcome to part 136 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games, two comfortable home wins. Home against Chelsea, home against Man United. We couldn't really have had a harder start to the season. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, back to back to back. It's very difficult to gauge how good our new players are when we're playing in games we would have lost anyway. But we were absolutely stuffed in our last game, 4-0 away to Arsenal. We were awful. We just about made it past Grimsby in the Carabao Cup and scraped to a draw at home to West Ham with a last-minute equaliser. So something's not working. Dynamics. Let's not look at dynamics. Dynamics is just a disaster, and I think is a massive part of the problem. But it's not anything I can do about now. We've made the transfers now. We had our clear out. We just have to hope dynamics fixes itself before it's too late. But we have made the tactical change, and I've fiddled around with all sorts of different combinations. I initially wanted to do a proper 3-5-2 with wing-backs. The problem is our two new shiny full-backs can't play wing-back. They can, however, play as full-backs as complete wing-backs on attack. So they're effectively still wing-backs. So don't see this as a flat-back 5. This is 3 at the back. These two are effectively playing here. But for whatever reason, apparently they just can't. If we put him there, suddenly he goes into the red. If we put him back here and tell him to push into those areas as a complete wing-back on attack, which is arguably more attacking than if he's all the way up there as a complete wing-back. So if we were to put him like there as a wing-back, I would say having him back here as a complete wing-back on attack is more attacking. Whatever, I guess. So we brought an extra defender in. It is Tommy Taggart. Holmqvist is injured. And we're going to have him covering in behind Brodic and Jones. Joksimovic and Carrascal are going to push on and give us width going forward and really push on. And because they're going to be pushing so far forward, we've made our midfield 2, because obviously we've sacrificed 1 to be a defender, more defensive than they normally would be. So we've got a ball-winning midfielder on defend and a deep-lying playmaker on support. These 2 are just going to sit in front of these 3, and we're effectively going to have these 5 doing the defending, and then these 2 plus those 3, so the other 5 doing the attacking. And then we've got Nuhu in behind Nogueira and Ilas, both complete forwards, because complete forwards are super. We've also tweaked some of the team instructions as well. So we've taken off high tempo, we've taken off closing down. We've finally added on drop deeper. We do still want closing down to happen at this end of the pitch, so I've put prevent short goalkeeper distribution on to try and do that. And we're going to pass into space and work the ball into the box. Basically, these lot, we want them to get the ball up here fairly quickly. I'm not going to resort to direct football or long ball. I can't bring myself to do it. But once it gets up here, we don't want these lot just taking shots from anywhere with the few times we get it into the opposition half. We want them to actually create good chances for these 2 to finish. There's a lot of logic and thought that's gone into this, and it's a bit of a shame that Chelsea and Man United are not really the games to test it. Unless we go and win them both, then we know it works. But we're not likely to win them both. We're probably going to lose regardless. We just need to be looking at how we played and see if we are creating chances, see how well we're defending. I don't know why I'm hovering over quick pick. I'm not about to hit you, quick pick. We've picked our team now. So let's get into the match. We are still going on a control instruction because I can't bring myself to just sit and defend. I don't think we're good enough to do it. I think if we tried to just sit back and defend, you've seen how terrible at defending we are. We'd just concede lots of goals. So by continuing to control, but by having the back 5 in there, hopefully we're giving ourselves a little bit more defensive stability there, more defensive stability in the midfield. There's nobody rushing forward out of the midfield or the defence. And then we've got the fullbacks pushing on, and then the front 3, we're just relying on them to do all of our attacking for us, basically, with support from those fullbacks on either flank. Who knows if it'll work. It'll be a success if we limit the number of shots that Chelsea get. Half an hour in, they've only had 1 shot on target, so I guess that's successful so far. Well, here they come with a set piece and they've scored. You can't blame the tactic on that, no matter what. They've had a set piece, they've scored it. It's a little bit of a shame when we've got 3 centre-backs in there that not only do they get a free header, but also the guy that he heads it down to is unmarked as well. So at least 2, maybe 3 Chelsea forwards completely unmarked in that defence. I wonder if this is because I've still got my set-piece instructions from when we had a flat back 4. It shouldn't cause too many problems, Or it might even not have custom set piece instructions at all. We might have to fiddle with the set piece instructions between the two games, just so that we are actually defending set pieces and attacking set pieces properly. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to look at how we're playing outfield. And what I'm seeing straight away is we've only had 36% of possession and not had a shot on target. And now we've got a man sent off. So immediately, can't judge it at all now because we're down to 10 men. What I can say is it wasn't working. We've had no attacks and Chelsea are winning. That tells me going in with a less gung-ho attitude doesn't work. We're just going to have to leave it like that. Our strikers are now going to be completely isolated. What a load of poo-poo. Aye. And 9 men, is that? No, he doesn't get a second yellow. That would be very harsh if when we've only had 2 men booked, if they both picked up a yellow. I can see why you're frustrated. I'm frustrated too, gentlemen. Look, they're all frustrated. We are playing Chelsea and we're only 1-0 down and we're down to 10 men. But what is frustrating is the fact we're not getting the ball, and the rare times we do get it, we're doing nothing with it. So perhaps work ball into the box isn't a good idea. Perhaps we need to rely on someone just having a moment of genius and scoring us a goal. But our front two, what do you expect really when they've not had the ball? But they've not impressed even a little bit. Let's get these two on. Change him up. Target man and poacher. And we should probably bring him on as well because Joksimovic is on a yellow card and not really enjoying playing a more attacking role, I don't think. It's only 1-0. That's the positive we take from this, I guess. It's a real shame we couldn't stay to 10 men so we could see if we were able to create something. It's not really... I mean, I know we had a full half of it. A full half. And now it's 2-0. See, I would rather lose 6-0 but have a go at trying to score a goal than lose 2-0 without a shot on target. So my instinct is to go back to our normal system for the Man United game because this just hasn't worked. But is it fair to just bin it off completely after one game where we were down to 10 men, even if we've not had a shot and we've not had the ball and we've just been rubbish? I did toy with putting a defensive midfielder in rather than the third defender. The only problem is we don't have a Premier League quality defensive midfielder. So we can't really do that. I'm not playing one striker and we don't have any wingers. So there's not much we can do. I've boxed myself into a corner. Summer Kev deliberately boxes season Kev in so that he can't change the formation too much. And I appreciate that he does that because it makes it easier to stick to my guns when there's not really any other options. Right, here we go. A chance for an attack. It's the first time I've seen us touch the ball in their half, and it's the 93rd minute. And we have gone through the entire match without having a shot on target. That is not an acceptable way to play football. We are going to attack in this second game. Right, forget that. I've done some soul searching, which basically means I've looked back through previous videos at how I won with rubbish teams before, and I suddenly remembered Portsmouth and Leicester from non-league to legend this year, where we used a 4-3-1-2, but we used it in a slightly different way to how we've used it all the way through Backing the Boro this year, because we had the basic structure of the system, but we took off all team instructions to avoid confusion to the tiny minds of the rubbish players, and then adjusted the mentality and team shape according to the strength of the opposition. We're playing Manchester United today, so we're going to go defensive and structured with no team instructions. We've adjusted some of the player instructions as well to match how they were in that system that worked with Leicester, that got us into the Champions League with Leicester. So we've gone to defensive centre-backs on defend, and we've also gone with a complete forward, advanced forward combination up front. So because it's a changed system, we'll go through the team again from scratch, because I've had about 18. I don't know who played in the last game. I've tried so many different combinations that I've even loaded up the Oxford tactic from non-league to legend, just because I know it worked then. So we've got Vujicic in goal, a back four of Joksimovic, Brodic, Taggart. It's because I've got so many itches, I can't say Taggart properly. And Karashkal, Fazio, Hayes and Stojanovic are in midfield with Earl in behind Noguera and Kraljevic. Lots of itches. Let's get into the game. Please just show some signs of life, lads. I know you're not going to beat Manchester United. Nobody expects you to. But, it would be lovely to grind out a draw. Grab a second point. We don't want to start drifting too far away at the bottom of the league. And I know I was quite proud of the fact that last season we went into the final 4 games and we'd only drawn 1 game all season. We were either winning them or getting thumped. But if we'd have ground out 6 draws from games that we lost, we'd have been comfortable a month earlier. So we've got to figure out how to grind out these draws whilst not sacrificing picking up the wins when we would have won them by attacking. And it becomes that balancing act of deciding what mentality to go into these games against according to the opposition. And obviously Manchester United we're going to defend. But now we're stuck because we've gone behind. So at what point do I stop defending now? Let's just keep it solid for another 10-15 minutes or so, then start to push on a bit? Or do we just start attacking now? Do we defend through the whole game? This is where I tie myself up in knots by messing around with mentality. But I think we leave it to the half-hour mark, and then we're going to go to standard for the last 15 minutes of the half. They won't know what's hit them. Oh, look at that, a bit of standard. We're going to leave it unstructured, but we're going to standard them up. They just won't know what's happening. It's making no difference. Man United are attacking again. I think we just have to start attacking if they score here. They have. Right. Forget any of this nonsense. Oh, no. Was it disallowed? It was disallowed. We'll stay on standard. There you go. See, we did an offside to them. We've not had... In the last game, we had no shots on target, and I was sad. Today, we've not had any shots at all. I'm less sad, though. We've had a little bit more possession. That, to me, is a sign of life. Or it could just be a sign that Man United are better than Chelsea. Right, we need to come out for this second half trying to win this football match, or at least trying to score a goal. So we're going to go control. But unlike with the system we've used for the last 5 seasons with Nuneaton, probably longer, if it's still 1-0 at the hour mark, we're going to push on to attack. We're just going to keep pushing, and adjusting our mentality according to the game that we're playing in. Right, Brodic, take your time, find a blue shirt. I mean, he did neither of those things, did he? He rushed and lumped it up the pitch. Earl now can't keep hold of it. And United are in again. And goodness me, give it 5 minutes. We're going to go to control. And that's when they'll grab a few more goals because we'll leave gaps behind us then. You know how we roll in these situations. Oh, they've just ripped us open there. And we got away with that massively. Right, big boot upfield. Can we win the header? We can. It falls to Hayes, who finds Nogueira. Back to Fazio. We're actually having the ball in their half. Nogueira. Can't find Kraljevic though. And it's with Brodic. Big ball forward towards Nogueira again, who can't get there, but he is trying to chase down but can't get there. And we actually had a little moment there where we were attacking a little bit, which was nice. I enjoyed it. We've had 2 shots on target now, which is far more effective than we were against Chelsea. That means this system's better. Plus the fact that we're not losing like 4-0 yet, like we did against Arsenal. Oh, see, now it's a problem. We go attacking, and then they'll get 3 or 4 more because we're pushing on to... I don't want to see your poxy replays. I would love to see an Nuneaton goal at some point this season. I don't remember what it feels like. Oh, my word. Just remember your wise words from yesterday, KEV. Relegation this season could be a blessing in disguise. We get a fun promotion season. We get to come back into the Premier League buoyant and happy and motivated, and that's when we push into the Champions League. It worked when we got relegated from the Championship in our second season. It will work again. You just got to keep the faith. The board aren't going to sack me. The board love me. I just need to make sure I can keep the bulk of the team together. See, at this point, do we stop attacking? Do we start thinking in terms of our goal difference? I don't think we do. We've got to try and grab a goal. I'm not watching replays. I will not watch another replay until it's in a Nuneaton goal. I make that vow now. Right. Joksimovic has been terrible. But we don't have a left back on the bench, so he can stay on and continue to be terrible. Although Brodic can play left back. So perhaps we bring him on. There we go. And we're going to bring on Lazic. And, I mean, both our fullbacks have been rubbish today. Should we go to 3 up top? What's the worst that could happen with 3 up top? In fact, should we do the exploit? Imagine if this works. I'll feel so dirty. But it's supposed to be 3 complete forwards on attack, isn't it, I think? Is that what you're supposed to do? Someone let me know how you exploit Football Manager. I've got a Premier League I need to try and stay in. Let's see if that breaks the Man United defence. We're still not getting the ball. Attack, you morons! You got an exploit up front. Score some goals. No. Can't even cheat properly. Where's the data editor? Goodness me. Yeah, they're going to score again, aren't they? And it will be 4-0 like it was against Arsenal. Here it comes. I mean, we haven't even tried to defend that. £27 million we spent on this goalkeeper. What was the point when he's going to face 18 shots in a game? We could have the best goalkeeper in the world in there. And one day, he might be the best goalkeeper in the world. But if he's having to face 18 shots in a match, he could be up for his second consecutive Premier League relegation. And we ain't going to keep him if we get relegated. He's already shown he'll jump off a sinking ship without any question, even if it's for one that looks like it's sinking even faster. Right, Eyeless. What's he going to do? We've got a man over because we're cheats. And he can't score. Brodic, don't know what he's doing up there. Hayes can't get hold of the ball. We had an opportunity to score a goal there. We haven't done a goal for so long. Come on now. How are we doing? We're still only 1 point from safety. It's fine. We might just be in the situation again where there's 3 teams even worse than us. Although we're not showing any signs of that yet. Yeah. Well, we were going to lose those 2 games anyway. It just doesn't matter. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Let me know down in the comments how to cheat. I need help cheating. And thank you very much for watching.